Hello, and welcome back to Pixels and Points. I am Susie Brown, media buyer planner extraordinaire here at Redroc, and with me, as always, is
Matt Nelsen, media director here at Redroc.
There you go.
And today, taking a step away from AI, and although AI is involved in everything,
Well, it's involved here too, but different topic.
We're going to take on CTV, OTT, FEP, whatever you want to call it. It's basically broadcast TV for the digital age. What we got is a report from Pure 39 today talking about how CTV transparency is dragging down performance. And the gist of this is just going to go with the way you're seeing CTV bought by a lot of managed services. I mean, you got those services that, are on that if you're a business owner, you're going to get ads for. We're talking like Mountain TV and Vibe.co and things like that. That they're gonna come in and they're gonna tell you, oh, we're gonna be able to buy you Disney and Netflix and all this stuff for PMs. And what they're doing is in the background they're buying junk. I don't know how else to say it. Buying junk
or stuff that's not true CTV. And I think when we've talked about OTT in the past, we've always had different buckets. But when you're buying from a managed service, you don't know how they're breaking up those buckets. So they could show you HGTV, ESPN, which could mean a lot of different things. So you've got to know what you're looking at and know kind of all the tips and tricks.
Yeah, it's when they say you're gonna get Disney or Netflix or something like that, they may be including that in their bundle, but that's not the only thing you're getting. You're going to get a lot of this. What I can't even remember the name they used in this report, but it was
UGC.
Fake OTT.
Yeah, fake TV was what they mainly called it, but it's user-generated content or just content that's meant to sit there and be in the background. Think your fireplace chat for Christmas time, your weather update channel. It's just constantly running in the background, serving ads, but no one is actually watching.
View high completion rate. Like when you're looking at the report, you'll see like, oh, my completion rate is 98, 99%, which is one of the things that you need to make. I've always said you need to look for. You need to make sure that your CTV campaign, your OTT campaign is at 98. Because if it's not, and you're getting clicks, then it's not an OTT campaign.
Yes.
And so even with putting in everything that they're going to talk about in this article, all the safeguards against it, people will still get some of this fake OTT creeping in. It's just the way some of it is, because it's apps on like your Samsung or LG TV and they're bundled with the Samsung TV app,
right? But it's only running on the Bob Ross channel, so you gotta I think at the end of the day, a lot of CTV is you do get what you pay for, but knowing what you're buying and separating out your buckets of buying. So your premium has a different CPM than what you're using for your frequency. But we can kind of go through the article too.
Yeah, we're going to kind of skim it because it is
quite lengthy, but kind of going through overview.
It's a long article. They were saying that only about a third of CTV content has, any kind of genre data or even data. It's always, when you look at a report, it's going to have like channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. And that's the kind of stuff we try to stay away from. When we're looking at publishers, and Susie, you can join in with this too.
This is what I do all day.
You're our premier OTT and broadcast TV buyer, and you put together a lot of our campaigns for our clients. When putting together the buys and you're running like domain reports and channel reports, like what are you seeing on the back end that you immediately will be like, no, I don't want that.
Well, number one is you're going to see a solitaire. You're going to see any kind of video app. Think if you're playing a game on your phone, and it's user rewarded content, right? So if you want more coins for your game, if you want more time to finish your game, just watch this quick video. Well, that's where your OTT is going to be served if you're not checking those domain reports, because they can basically mask themselves as a true like video publisher, because in the grand scheme of things, they are running long form content, but it is not where we want to be.
Yeah,
So,
and it's on TVs.
yes, it is on TV.
On your cell phone or your laptop, which that's the main thing that you have to do, is you have to make sure that you're looking at it and you're just selecting. If you want CTV, which, just to go over the background again, is the big umbrella.
Big screens.
It's over the top, which means like over the top past broadcast, kind of like it's direct to your TV kind of thing. But it includes CTV and FEP. And technically, what this content is supposed to be, FEP is like full episode player, is what the acronym stands for. And that you're running on Hulu content, actual produced episodes of content.
Right. A 30-minute program, 60-minute program.
Not clips, not user generated content, not anything like that. And that'll even include live content as well. While OTT is supposed to be CTV is just that same FEP, full episode content, but it's on your television, because FEP by itself will include phones and tablets and desktops and anywhere else that you're consuming content. So that's the first step of culling out. If you're just wanting people who are laid back, they had another term in here that was kind of nice. It was like laid back watching CTV, where you're sitting there watching your show. You're not actually engaging with the remote. You're not setting up your TV. You're not playing an app. You're leaning back and you're just consuming.
You are engaged. Yep.
Engaged. And it's not a bunch of clips where, you're going to be swiping to the next one, skipping this YouTube clip or whatever it is, which you can watch YouTube shorts on your TV too. I boggle my mind that people are doing.
My kids do. But yes, exactly. So thinking about everything you can stream on your TV nowadays, when you're setting up true OT buys, you want to make sure it is large screens only. And you do want to make sure there's no mobile environment, because yes, you can stream something from your phone to watch on your TV, but that's where the content gets muddied. You also always want to make sure you have selected no rewarded videos, right? You don't want to be in that bucket where you're you're going to get a great completion rate if you are literally paying for the impression, but it's not where you want to be, and it's not that engaged consumer. And then the other thing I think you really want to look at is what kind of deals you're buying.
Okay, that's farther down in the article.
Kind of in the next article.
Well, go to the fourth page. I think we can start at the first beginning here, just so we can skip through it real fast. So what they're starting out talking about is, after you've tried to get rid of FEP stuff and you say you're on CTV, or they're selling you OTT or CTV,
right, as large screen only.
What the thing is that fake CTV at least 25%, sometimes even worse, because a lot of these companies are trying to do high view completion rate with a low CPM, because they're battling against the Mountain and the Vibes that are saying, oh, we can get you a CPM, you can be on for $20. And I'm looking at the publisher deals directly from the publishers, and the price is in the 30s to 40s, maybe even more. I mean, that's before you even start bidding on it. And
that's one of I think the key indicators, is looking at what that deal price is, or that it does have a floor price. And if something looks too good to be true, unfortunately, it usually is.
Yeah. And if there's, like I said, if they're saying that they're buying premium content and they're saying it's a $20 CPM, they are throwing in other content. Like, they could say that they're buying you CBS content. They're buying you as Pluto.
Yep. And it's the shell game, or you think you're getting this, but you're actually getting this. And
we see that all the time in these deals.
And they are sneaky, because they will also change the names of the publishers. As far as Pluto, sometimes they'll show up as, was it Ion, or it'll show up as different things, and it's just creating a different group of publishers.
IQ TV.
IQ.
Yeah. You'll see it show up as all different kinds of stuff. And one of the things is that they're trying to say is if you can see the domain, or not even the domain, but the channel it's on, or the what would they call it, the actual program
Mm-hmm.
I try to get to. But most, there's 60% of all the content out there, and a lot of it's good content, doesn't have that kind of label or that information.
Exactly. You don't get that program level reporting. And when we can, it's great. But when I can get it, it's when we're going direct to the publisher. We've set up that PMP deal ourselves, so we know the inventory is great. We know with our buying software, we can put all of those restrictions on it, so we don't have any accidents running into all of this fake TV. And there's just a lot more control as far as what you're doing, and kind of takes that mystery out of everything. When we can't see where everything's running, we don't get those program lists from the publishers, we can put different restrictions on as far as content, which is also counterintuitive. But I think the way that a lot of OTT is going to be buying, we were always told when everything started coming out, all these dollars started switching over to streaming TV, that you don't buy it program based. You're buying the audience, right? You're trying to buy someone in this age group interested in buying these specific items, right? Their intent. But
what's the problem with that?
It's a free-for-all, right? So if you think you're just buying the open inventory, well, what's going to happen is it's going to start optimizing towards those key indicators we talked about: low CPM and high completion rate. So it's going to look and see, oh, look at all this inventory, super low CPM, super great completion rate, but it's all running on Atmosphere TV, just showing sports clips.
Yeah. And it's targeting. The other part of that is that when you say you're going to be targeting this specific audience with this specific age group, CTVs don't work like that. It's
right.
Household. You're targeting people like, oh, this household has a man 45 to 55, or an 18 to 25-year-old or something like that. When you target that, you're targeting that TV.
Yep.
And other people use the same TV.
Yep. And there's no way of knowing who is actually watching that television at the moment, or who walked out of the room. Like, we know the household. So I think it does kind of go back to that, buying not specific programs, but program genres, right? So if you say we want to buy just action programs because that fits your target, or just romance, just comedy, just drama, not only are you narrowing down your target, you're weeding out everything that cannot call themselves drama, right? That cannot call themselves a scripted TV program. So you're weeding out all that user generated and just fake TV.
Yeah, and the other problem is we're seeing with MFAs and AI is they're weaseling their way in and trying to name themselves as drama. So you gotta or comedy or something like that, and it's user generated, chive TV kind of content, and it's comedy, labeled as comedy.
Right. Or an app that just plays Korean dramas, nonstop, that you can download and stream on your phone. I see so many of those popping up, and it's like, yes, it is long form. Yes, you're ticking all those boxes, but you are a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? You're still not where we want to be. So it's kind of peeling back those layers and inspecting what you're looking at. And really, it just goes down to data, having as much data as you can, knowing the tips and tricks to make sure you have all those restrictions on, and then knowing your publishers, knowing who you're buying from.
Like you could say knowing your publishers, but if you're a small business owner and you're like, I want to do my own OTT, and they're like, I'm going to go to the Disney Business Manager or the CBS one, and I'm like, if you go to the CBS one, you're going to get Pluto in there, and they're not going to tell you that it's Pluto content. They're just going to say that you're getting this. If you go to the Disney one, they have extra stuff in the background. It may not all be on the Disney app. It may not all be on the Hulu app. It's going to be on other things as well. So
BBC News rotators, I see a lot. Yeah.
So it's you have to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't say it's not trickery, but they've got content in their platforms that they want to sell. So they're like Meta, like Google. They're going to want to spend your money. So,
and once you do get kind of sucked into that strategy of buying the cheapest CPM for the highest completion rate and start seeing that fake success, well, then everything's just going to optimize to keep doing it, because what the software sees is this is working great. Yep, let's do it again.
Results. You're not going to see any kind of brand lift in the real world is the problem.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's working really well I don't know why nobody's coming. So
Mhm.
it's a constant problem we have, especially when you have to work in some of these walled gardens and you don't know exactly where everything's running all the time. So
Mhm.
um, the next thing down is
I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but we've got some good charts that I think I wanted to kind of hit on.
kind of already hit on all the way down. I'm
Mhm.
talking about how completion rate is not a signal of quality. Completion rate without context is meaningless. Yes, kind of already talked about that.
Yep, and the different environments. This is showing open exchange versus targeting by genres.
Yep.
And then looking at completion rates. So I really thought this was a great article as far as laying out kind of those pitfalls you can easily fall into and kind of reiterating all the strategies we're looking at and strategies that are emerging, right? Like the content-based targeting.
I like in 2 pages the breakout that they have. One more. This one, the trap of misclassification, the utility trap. It's where your TV, you have those apps and you're working on something, or it's like you've downloaded all sorts of different kind of apps onto your Roku or Fire OS, and
Mhm.
they're showing you TV apps, and they're saying it's a connected TV. I'm like, yes, it's on connected TV, but it's not OTT content.
Yep, an app running on the background on your phone, and then the ambient void is
Favorite one. That's my new term, is ambient void.
that's the dual log or the light
log. It's like you were talking about the atmosphere TV, the Chive TV that's running in bars, that's just on and it's muted. Nobody's watching it. Stuff you have at home, the aquariums, the stuff
what you would put on for your dog when you left for the day kind of channel.
auto muted content, so that when the ad runs, if you're not in the room, you don't even notice it's running because it's just the video in the background. So that the mobile leak, that's the misclassification of mobile stuff as CTV, where it's the reward apps, it's the 30-second videos where you get, it's that kind of mobile leak. So those are the biggest traps that for OTT you have to avoid. And I love that little quote there. The danger zone is not the R-rated movie. It's 60% of the bid stream that has no rating, no show title, and no verified channel.
Yes. So that's why content is important, not for the reasons we think, but to weed out all of these MFAs or fake TV, for lack of a better term.
Yep.
Great. Well, I feel like we could talk about this.
Yeah, we could just keep on going
all day.
Of course, they start to wrap up in the report. Of course, Pier 39 is the way to do this is not only make sure you have PMP deals and doing that stuff, but use our program to curate what you want to be running on. And we do use
Pier 39 has good data. They do.
39 does have good data. I'm not going to say that they don't, and we do use them, especially for when we're working on, say, a scary vendor where do OTT, but we're not we don't want to just be on premium content because that's not where they live. They might be on Pluto. They might be on.
Some clients do want it. You got to know your client, know your audience.
And so when you want to expand outside of live sports, premium content, where we just want to make sure we are for some of our clients who are using OTT like a broadcast TV replacement. What we'll do is for the ones that want to expand out a little bit more and want to reach their more niche audience, we will use Pier 39 because they have good channels and targeting that we can layer on top, and will help us to actually make sure we're on good curated content that's not clips, that's not apps and stuff like that.
Yep. But I think another good thing that kind of went through to wrap up is just kind of going through how to look through, your buys. So first thing, kind of what we've been talking about, you want to know, is this actually a TV channel? What's your screen mix? Are you running on the big screens? Kind of things you can look at. And then looking at those publisher relationships, knowing who you're buying from, what they're selling, how they sell. And then no tech, no buy rule for the open market to avoid all the mobile. And you want to make sure you are on big screens.
And yes, and that's why we have Susie here at Redroc to make sure everything's running, everything OTT related, CTV related is running where it should, to it should, and how it should.
And for a decent price, right? Even though CPM isn't the end all be all, getting it the cheapest, you got to know what it costs for what you should pay for, so you can buy it for the most efficient price.
And every client asks us, what's the CPM for this? And I'm like, it really depends. It what you want to buy, how you want to buy it, what creative you have. That'll influence where you can run it.
Yep.
And what platforms we're on. Because if we're over on Amazon, that's a different CPM than if we're wanting to run on Netflix versus Disney versus everywhere else. So it's always different. It's there's no one benchmark. So yeah,
exactly. It's a nuance. And then redefining success metrics, we've got to kind of look at it differently. It's not always KPI driven. It's not always, you're not going to get that click on OTT. So how else can we look at it? And it's brand lift, and we've got to look at it like an extension of a TV buy, which it'll get you much more efficient rates and better impressions than broadcast. So still the place to be.
Yep.
Well, we went a little long today, but I think that'll do it for us, and we'll see you guys next time.